One. And we are on. Welcome, guys, to Xceleration Fitness Podcast. I'm going to guess this, number 16, I believe. Yes. Very special guest today with us, guys. I'll let her do an introduction. But I met this girl at the Lululemon Global Ambassador Summit. We became best friends instantly. She has an amazing background story. She has amazing history with Detroit. I'll let her do all that telling. I'm very, very excited because when we started this podcast, John Papp and I said, this is definitely one that we both agree we want on this podcast. We've been trying for a long time, but due to technologically, that's not even a word, we can figure out how to get there. But now we figured this out. We're doing it virtually, and we're excited she's here. Before I get to this, guys, John Papp is out of town right now. He's camping. So I told him just to camp and relax because trainers don't get much time off. So hopefully he's sleeping right now. Another guest that I have side by side with me, hopefully if people listen to this podcast are trainers, if they're into fitness, or maybe they're just into business. This guy to my left, Brandon, drove all the way up here 4 hours from Ohio just to shadow us for the day. He's turning 21 next Thursday. There's a lot more things he probably could be doing, but yet he's here on a Friday trying to learn. So that's very, very admirable. So you want to say hi?
Thanks for having me.
All right. So without further ado, guys, let me introduce the guest. Tara, take it away. Give us the background. What's up?
So I'm Terra Castro. Nice to meet you guys. I own a gym called Detroit Body Garage in West Village, Detroit. We've been open since May 2016, a little over a year and a half. A couple months. I was a pro triathlete, born and raised in the suburbs in Royal Oak, specialized in Ironman, raced around the world for 10, 12 years, and moved back home because I got divorced. So I moved back home to rebuild and found a niche or like a need in Detroit for more fitness options. And how could I use my talents and gifts that I've been given to help my community? So I went mobile with Be Bold Crew, which is a triathlon and run training program, in a big sprinter bus around the city I was popping up. And then I realized the pop-up life is stressful. And to have stability and a foundation to impact the city more, I needed a brick and mortar. So in 2 weeks, we opened what is now Detroit Body Garage due to circumstances out of my control. It was fast. That's how I do things. Be bold, go hard, no rest. So here we are, and then it's just a blessing to know you and to be an ambassador with Lululemon with you, because it's about all of us teaming together to help our city and beyond. So yeah, I just use movement and community to help people be a vehicle of change. So
that's awesome. That is one hell of an introduction right there. So let's back up to your professional athlete days. When did you become a professional triathlon, or is it marathon?
Triathlon. So I actually in high school, in my third triathlon ever, or duathlon, qualified for world champs. And it like woke me up to, I think I'm actually really good at this. I was a swimmer growing up, and then became a runner. And so it was like a natural progression. So from there, I was a U.S. junior elite, and I traveled with Team USA to like kind of Olympic development program. So kind of like they have for gymnastics and stuff, they have it for triathlon. So I'd go to Olympic training centers, do that high level training, get evaluated. And then in 2004, I realized I didn't really want to go to the Olympics, that was a calling for my grandfather, who was an alternate in cycling. I was trying to fulfill his dream, and I realized I love Ironman. So I'm an ultra distance runner and triathlete, right? So like right now I'm training for 50 miles. That's my jam. So in 2004, I did my first half Ironman. I was 24, and people said, hey, you're too young. But I did it, and I was second overall, and realized I'm really good at it. Like, this is the natural thing that happens to me. And so I did my first Ironman, was 7th overall in 2005. And it's been a blessing ever since. I was always either top 10, top 5. My last Ironman, I was top 3 before I retired to try to save my marriage. So, yeah, it's been a long journey of like 13, 20-something years of racing. It's in my blood. Yeah, I love it.
For the viewers and listeners out there who don't know what an Ironman is, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so an Ironman's 2.4 mile swim. You get off out of the swim, you go right to your bike, you bike 112 miles, you get off your bike, you go right to the run, and you run a marathon, which is 26.2. And you have 17 hours to do it. Some people it takes all day. You know, our goal is to do it in like 9-something hours. People are breaking 8 hours now. And, you know, I used to train up to 40 hours a week for it. So eat, sleep, train. That's all I did. No life, nothing. Just that's all I did.
So in a 9-hour window where some people go to work, you know, cash in, cash out.
Totally.
You're swimming 2.4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You're biking how many miles?
112.
112 miles.
Yep.
You're running 26.2.
Totally. And you don't change, like, I mean, you could, there's like a changing 10 transition and all that. But literally, you're in your little spandex outfit running around. And I made money doing it. I got paid. I was a sponsored athlete by Cliff Bar and Luna Bar. It like helped me share my story. Hold on. I think I'm going to have people coming to the gym. So I'm going to lock the door. It's busy. We're still open. Sorry. We're multitasking here because I'm still open. So yeah, no, it's a blessing. I just, it's endurance sport all day long. I did it with my mom and my grandfather. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So how do you do this mentally? I mean, this is like the golden trick that everyone wishes they could do, but for you personally, you did that at a very young age. How the hell do you tell your brain to do these things and keep going?
So, you know, I think it's one for me, I spend a lot of time in prayer. I walk in bold faith and like that keeps me fueled. But I worked with a sports psychologist. I really focused on my mental training because that's a whole nother aspect. Like you can be totally gifted physically, but like if you can't keep your head together, in 9 hours, that's a lot of unraveling. So for me, I worked on skills of like goal setting, really knowing my why. I think that's the biggest thing for any athlete or entrepreneur. Like, why in the heck are you doing this to begin with? Like, if it's to make money, is that really going to drive you? For me, it was about the joy of the sport and like what I got from it along the journey. So having my core value of like why I'm doing it, I could get up every day when I felt like crap. I could get through a flat tire in the middle of a race and not react. So just like you train, swim, bike, run, or with weights, you also need to train your mind to be stronger. So
yeah, I'd say it's definitely a strong-minded sport. Wow.
Yeah.
What was your best race ever? And this might be a really tough question to dig deep down.
Oh no, I know exactly which one it was. So it was in 2012. Ironman Kentucky, and it was like 104 degrees, and I've done it like 5 times. I had spent all summer in Boulder over 12 weeks. I think I was there in Boulder, Colorado, 16 weeks. So I did a high altitude training camp. I had been working with a coach from Copenhagen, who's a high level scientist, and we hit that sweet spot in my training where we found what worked in my protocols and my systems and everything. I got to the race, like I knew I was capable of almost winning the race. Like, you know, when you know you're so ready. I ended up third. In the last 2 miles of the race, I had to chase down who was the person in third place. And so my friend was at like the 1.5 mile mark to go, and he yelled some very, I can't say online, but he yelled it.
It's my podcast, so you say everything.
Yeah. So he did say effing run and like some other things, and he's like, you have to want it. And I felt like I was moving fast. I think I was running a 7-minute mile. It felt like I was running a 5-minute mile, but I chased that girl down. You know, you tap her on the back and say like, good job. But I crossed the finish line and my grandfather was there, and it was like the last race that he actually saw me race. He passed away when I opened the gym. And it was like really special when you see all the things and the hard work that you've done mold together, and like there really is this sweet spot, you know. There's so much joy. And after that, my marriage unraveled, I moved back home. So that was like the last race that I remember having so much joy. I tried to race 2 times after that in 2014, and maybe that's 2013. No, 2012, 2013, things unraveled, and I retired in May of 2013. So that was my last race that I focus on of it being good.
That is amazing. So what time were you running that mile in where you caught her in the last mile?
Oh, I think it was the 7:05 or something. But like because you're slow-mo, because like you have all that, like you're fried. You're like shuffling. But you feel like you're going fast in your mind because you're like panicking kind of, you know. But it was like a 7-minute mile. I think I ran like a 3:20 marathon. It was so hot. The thing, I love heat. I love adversity. I love when I get all the challenges thrown at me because I thrive in that. Some people like the cush life. I like the bold life. So.
Jeez, the bold life.
Yeah.
How do you start your days? I know, I mean, from text and talking and setting this up, I know you're extremely busy, but do you have any morning rituals? Do you have anything?
Oh, yeah. I am such a creature of habit. So like what I learned in my pro racing life now goes into my business life and training. So I'm still trying to get ready for this 50-mile race the best I can with the little bit of time I have. So I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. I grab a cup of coffee real quick and I do like a 15-minute Bible study, prayer, like get your head right. Like that's part of the mental training. And the more routine and normal these things are, the easier it is and less stressful on your body. So every morning from 4 to about 4:15, I do that. I get on my treadmill till 5. I shower and I'm out the door by 5:25. I've already got my lunch packed. So setting my mind right for the day is so important because, like, you got to check your attitude. Like, there's going to be days you wake up and you're just like, want to whine or like, I'm a crier. So I'm going to cry it out like, this is awful, but I know my why. So I wake up and I set my intention, and then I have to take care of me first before I can take care of everybody else. So I need to do some kind of movement, even if it's yoga, if I'm too tired to run, because I'm about to give for 8 to 10 hours a day because I coach about 30-something classes a week. So it's a lot of giving. It's a lot of giving. It's a lot of classes. Yeah. It's a lot of programming too.
But the thing that impresses me the most is that you are so busy, but yet you still make 45 minutes a day just for you.
Oh, I do it twice a day. So like I'm crazy. That's not enough to fill my joy tank. So like yesterday I worked out 3 times. So I did like 3 miles on the treadmill in the morning. I had 20 minutes in between classes. So I did some core and rehab mobility work. And then I hiked for 2 miles uphill at like 15% grade on my treadmill. Something's better than nothing. So if I can't get my 10-mile run that I'd like to get every day, at least I'm moving 2-3 times a day for durability and that endurance build. So I need to go, 12 hours running. So I need to be on my legs all day long moving. So it's not like this, high level like mileage, but I'm getting quality in. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, most people that wake up at 4 a.m. is a task, but then do on the treadmill, to do your study, to do all that. That's awesome. Because what I talked about a lot in this past week was negative thoughts that pop in your head. How do you battle those negative thoughts? What would you say to someone out there listening who maybe they're just scared to start a workout? Maybe they're just really dreading leg day at the gym and like all these negative thoughts just pop in their head. What would you suggest to them?
I don't know. I think we all have mantras, right? Like mine's be bold. We all have a saying that like keeps us focused. I mean, I literally have it like tattooed on my arm so I don't forget, because there's going to be days where there's an unraveling and like the shitstorm happens and something financial or partner or work. But no, I don't know. I think you need to do it for the joy of it and eliminate that pressure. Like, why are you getting upset? Like, there's deeper issues that like you need to dig into. Like, are you worried because you're not going to hit your numbers? Like your deadlift's not going to be 200, it's going to be 180. Like embrace the journey and know that that's okay. Like shit happens. And so you don't have a good day working out. The hardest part is getting in the door. So just get in the door. And if you don't, talk to your coach. Like that's why we hire trainers. That's why you go to somewhere that they're educated and saying, you know what, you need rest. Like just do yoga today. I don't know we get in our own way and embrace that. It's okay. We're going to have bad days, and take that pressure off of yourself. Embrace it. You know?
Would you mostly say that you coach yourself? Because being such an individualized sport, do you coach yourself or do you have
I do coach myself. I would love to hire a running coach, but I just feel like right now, time-wise, I'm not, because I'm still a year in, I'm not like ready for a full-on program. Next year I'd like a program. But I would love for you to help me with my strength training, but I can't get up to Auburn Hills. So we might have to do it live on Facebook.
Hey, that's why we're doing this here.
Exactly. I know that I need that accountability. I think that's the next level right now. I'm just trying to find that routine again of like moving 2-3 times a day. My treadmill helps. I think right now I'm just having to be flexible. there's a switch in me, and if I switch that on, it's going to pull me from my business. So I'm trying to monitor where's like the happy medium of just like joyful running, and then where's me trying to be pro again. So that's a struggle. When I retired from sport, it took me about a month to just get my head back to what is normal. Like, I have no idea what normal living is. Like, even what I do now isn't normal, but it's my new normal, right? So.
What would you suggest to the average Joe like me if I got a 5K coming up and I got like 2 weeks to get ready for it? Or, I mean, there's obviously not that much preparation you can do, but what are some suggestions? Maybe something to eat for breakfast in the morning or something simple as that.
So if you were, I always say don't try something new on race day, right? So let's say you have like 6 weeks. I would say, you never increase your mileage more than 10% a week. Don't do anything crazy. Don't go out the door and start running 6 miles when you've never run 0. You've done like 1 or 2. But I think for breakfast, I always do like a bagel with peanut butter or almond butter and a banana. And it's short enough that you don't need to like eat crazy or carb load, right? I would say stay away from crazy sugars that are going to make you crash like right before the race. But practice it in your training. So like if you go and run a long run every Saturday, eat what you're going to eat before the race. And that's going to allow your body to get used to it. Like race rehearsals are for real. Do that in your training. So like how I trained was every workout, it wasn't a race, but I would practice what I would do in the race. So by the time I got to race day, it was like I was going through a movie script and I was just running through it. And I naturally knew when to eat. I naturally knew when to change my pace. Because it's ingrained, right? So practice it for race day.
Use like your watch for that, like when you know what miles and all that?
Yeah, so I like wear one of these Garmin's. This is a Garmin Fenix 3. It has a heart rate monitor like in the back. I'm a data junkie because I used a coach that was in Copenhagen and we had a time difference. And so everything was online and downloaded by power, heart rate. It tracks my sleep, tracks my sleeping heart rate, resting heart rate. So I use this. It lasts like 40 hours. So when I'm running in the woods, because now I do trail races, it'll give me my splits, my heart rate. It'll give me how much I slept, how many steps I've taken each day. So the more, and it downloads right to your phone. So the more data you can get, the more you can like edit your training. And I'm visual, so I need to see that I'm improving.
That's the high level stuff there.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you get typically?
5 to 6. Super bad. But here's the thing. I get an hour to an hour and a half nap every day. So the key for me is while I don't get super awesome night sleep right now, at least I'm getting a break in the midday. So I'm open 6 to 1 and 5 to 8. And then during the day, I go home and do a second workout. I sleep and I refuel. So I'm a professional napper. Like if I could sleep 10 hours a night, I would. That's what I used to do when I was racing. But I try to get to bed by 10:30 at the latest. But I close the gym at 8. I still got to clean. I still got to get home.
Do you clean the gym yourself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I sure do.
Everyone's looking at you right now because they think
Ben needs to clean his gym. Hello? It's good for you.
I know.
Yeah, but your gym's bigger. So my gym's 1,000 square feet. So I've got a super vacuum, and then I mop, I wipe things down, and I live down the street. So I believe in living where you work. So I walk to work every day with my dog. Luna, she's here somewhere laying down.
Your dog is sweet. I'll make sure to add her in the notes.
She's crazy. She's actually tired now because she's coached already 3 classes. So she's dramatic. But it's fun.
A real interesting part that you and I talked about when we were in our overlays in the airport was your connection with Detroit. Your grandpa, you, but talk a little bit about Detroit.
So my grandfather's from Copenhagen, my grandmother's from Wales, and they came over in 1952 or 1953. They actually met on Belle Isle riding bikes. So my grandfather was a pro cyclist. My grandmother, national level cyclist. So they actually planted in West Village. They didn't know each other. They each had an apartment, and they went on a ride with Wolverine Sports Club on Belle Isle. My granny remembers riding her bike, and they were on Woodward, an 8 Mile, and she crashed into a light pole because she was like trying to flirt with my papa, and she got the wind knocked out of her, and she pulled her shirt up, so she flashed my papa, and mind you, this is 1952, and you don't do that. So that was like the start of the end of, they fell in love. They got engaged like 3 weeks later, and they were married 61 and a half years.
3 weeks after they met?
Yeah.
You saw the flash and that was it?
That was it. Saw the flash, bam. Like, but that's my family. Like, we move quick, we're bold, and like you see what you want and you go after it. And he was actually part of the Army cycling team. So the reason they got engaged so quick was that he was head-to-head to Germany, right, to race bikes. So they started cycling here in Detroit, and I felt so called to be in West Village because that's like where my family legacy started. And you can see these pictures in the back. This is an indoor velodrome that was at the fairgrounds off of Woodward, and it was like you could transfer it. Like they took it to Madison Square Gardens and stuff. It's wood, and it was like a puzzle. And so my grandfather raced all around Detroit and nationals and stuff. So he was an alternate for the '56 Olympics.
Wow.
So it's
Where
just
was the Olympics at?
I forget that one. Russia or I can't remember, Montreal or something like that. But he missed it by like a little bit of a tire, right? Like he just didn't push his bike further enough to get it. But the gym has all his trophies. We have pictures and memorabilia of his racing and mine to like share the story.
So was that a motivating factor, obviously, when you did your...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was hard, like when he first passed away, to see all of it. I almost like didn't want to come to the gym because there's so much memory and his spirit's here, So that was like hard because I had just opened, dealt with that. I actually personally went through a breakup, and so all at once. But it's turned out to just be more than amazing. And now every day I'm very thankful that he got to see this and like that we're continuing the legacy.
So when are you going to write a book?
I think I need to actually. Sometime I think I need to start that.
Wasn't in high school you became a pro, right?
Yeah. So I moved to Texas. So my senior year of high school, well, right out of high school. So my senior year of high school, I started racing. I was a nanny for a woman who had breast cancer. And so I took care of her daughter while we dealt with that. And I just felt called.
How old were you at that time?
I was 18.
18.
Yeah. I'm an old soul. I don't know. I don't know. And so I actually met my coach at Montreal World Champs my senior year of high school, and felt called to like move away, like to reach my goals. I needed to go to the next level. So I moved to Austin, Texas. I raised money. The lady that I was her nanny, she sponsored me. I made a sponsorship packet. I don't know, like God just equipped me for something greater, and I went with it. Like I'm really willing to take big risks, and with big risks are big rewards. We just have to have the faith to do it. So yeah, I don't know. It's been crazy. All started when I was 18.
That is awesome. You guys definitely have a bold, everything about you just says bold. Like that's something I definitely admire, because being bold is so tough to do. I mean, taking that risk when you don't know what's going to happen. And what do you rely on?
Your faith. Your faith. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? So in my career, I've been bankrupt because my ex-husband started a business, and long story, but it didn't go through. So I've been bankrupt. I have been unable to pay rent. I have been unable to get food. I've lived out of my suitcase. I've been divorced. I've had bad breakups. Like, I've lived with my parents at 34. So like you start to realize it's not actually that bad. Like once you hit that first hiccup, you're like, you know what? Like this is just part of the journey, and it's part of your story. And like, I am so actually grateful for that hardship, because I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to endure as I have. So I think just for me, my faith is, and my core, and knowing my heart, and like loving people, that's how I'm able to do it.
Damn, that's a mic drop. Bam.
Mic drop. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Well, you definitely need to write a book. And I think your story is inspirational for me in a fitness sense, obviously the pro athlete sense, but just like you said just now, the hardships you went through, and it's like saying it's not that bad. I'm thinking while you're saying all this stuff, and I'm looking at the pictures of your grandpa back there, like what are people really remembered for? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like no one's going to remember about the hardships you went through, but they'll remember the way you made them feel, the gym you opened in Detroit, and
Absolutely. Like what impact, like what legacy do you want to leave? And I want to see hearts change. Like, this is beyond just like fitness. Like, fitness is awesome. You know, like, I want you to be healthy, but I want all of you to be healthy. And I want my city to be healthy. Like, this is beyond, I'm tired of like Detroit being what is called like a broken city. And, you know, we do hustle harder because we love our people. And, you know, I fostered 2 boys this winter. Like, I love my neighborhood. Like, I want to see lives change because like that makes our world a better place. So this is like a global thing. You need to know your mission. Like, I'm on mission. I'm just using fitness and moving. Like, my friends use music. You could use food and be a chef, you know, like, you've all been given gifts. So how are you going to use that?
Wow. That is awesome, Tara. All right. Well, me and Terra got some big things in the work. We're actually meeting up this Monday in Detroit at her place. We're going to lighten the mood up a little bit. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So these are questions you just answer right at the top of your head. We'll get to really, really know you here.
Okay.
Before we do this, right after this, I'll give you guys the info on where you can find Terra on social media, where her gym's at, and we'll rock from there, guys. But here we go. Drum roll. What is your favorite 90s jam?
Ooh. I don't even know if I know 90s jams. I love Eminem. Is that 90s? That's 2000. Okay.
No? Okay.
Oh, that's 2000.
Try again.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. I'm not a music person.
We'll come back to it.
Come back.
Who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Batman?
Oh, Spider-Man.
Why?
He seems more agile. I like his outfit.
I didn't come up with these questions, by the way. They're just found online. Name one state that you would get rid of.
Oh. I don't know that one either. I don't know. I like all of them. Florida? It's kind of weird.
Florida?
I like Florida, but like.
I don't know what you did to Terra, but you're gone. Okay. What is the ugliest vegetable?
Oh. These are hard.
I know.
Asparagus? It's like weird green.
Yeah, it's tall and ugly looking. I agree.
Pea stink?
Salty or sweet?
Ooh, salty. That's easy.
Who would you play in a movie?
If I was in a movie, who would I play? Who would play me? Sandra Bullock or something, maybe?
All right. Okay. All right, let's come back to the 90s jam. All right, let me flip it. If you could be in a 90s music group, who would you be in?
Dave Matthews Band?
Dave Matthews Band? That works. What would you play?
Oh, maybe I would like sing. I really like singing. Like at church, I really like to sing. I don't have a good voice, but like I really like to sing.
Hey, belt it out. Let's hear it.
Oh, no.
Okay. Do you have your phone by you?
Yes.
All right. We always do this to everybody. Go to your phone, open up a text.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Now go to your emojis.
Okay.
And read us the top 5 emojis most used on your list.
The heart. I love hearts. Y'all, it's all about love. Fist pump.
Fist bump.
This one.
The confused.
Confused all day. And then the fire, right?
Yes,
like,
all right.
That's hot. May or may not be talking about boys with that one. Men, not boys. And then the sweaty one. The sweaty one. Like the smiley. And then the one with the eyes squinched, like you're like dying laughing. That's basically my life. Right?
Okay. So happiness, love, fitness. I see it. Yeah.
Emojis.
And hit the palm of the face.
Yeah. That one for sure. All day.
That sounds just like a fitness instructor. Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up the episode, guys. Terra, thank you so much. I'm going to see you Monday. Nice. Where can all the followers find you at?
So we have Detroit Body Garage Instagram and Facebook. And then my personal Instagram is at BeBoldTerra, and it's Terra, like Earth. So I put a lot of like motivational stuff and training there. That's my personal story. And then my gym is another Instagram. And I love Insta stories. I'm like Ben. We like to share, like, life is real. I want to get to know you and have you come in and take classes at our places and to do life and walk with you. So.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you so much,
Terra.
Terra.
I'll see you on Monday, right?
Yes, you see me on Monday.
Cool, it was nice to see you. You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.